Occasionally, you might want to share only part of your timeline with other users of Istoriam, or you might want to split your timelines into multiple smaller ones. For that, you can export part of your timeline into a separate file. Conversely, you might want to merge two timelines into a single one. For that, you can import one timeline into any open Istoriam file. This video demonstrates how to export and import Istoriam STL files. To demonstrate this feature, we will use the displayed timeline. The timeline contains two separate set of events, one colored in blue and the other in red. The timeline uses a simple hierarchy structure with the records configured with different set of attributes. Two filters were also defined, one that filter the blue records and one for the red records. Let's assume that we want now to separate the red and blue timelines into two separate ones. To export part of your timeline, you need to start by filtering the records that you want to export. Let's start with the blue records. Once the records to be exported are filtered, select Export to from the Timeline's menu option and then select the STL format. If the number of records to export is large, this step might take some time to complete. Once the records are exported, the application will ask about the filters to export. For that, a window will open where you are asked to select the filters that you want to export. Three options are offered. Skip that step altogether and don't export any of the filters. Select individually the filters that you want to export. Export all the filters to the new file. For the blue records, we will opt to select individually the blue filter. Finally, you specify the name and location of the file where the records will be exported. We will repeat those steps to export the red records, but in this case we will opt to export all the filters to the new timeline. You can open either file to verify that they contain only the records that were exported. Remember that for the red records, we opted to export all the filters from the original timeline. This option can be useful when a large number of filters need to be exported, and selecting each individually can be a tedious task. On the other hand, the result of this option is a new timeline with a number of filters that may be of no use, that is, filters that will result with no visible records. To clean the filter list, you can open the filter window and then select the vacuum submenu. That feature will test all the filters in a timeline and delete all those that result with no record. In our example, that will clear the blue filter. Now that we have separated the two timelines, let's try merging them again into a single one. For that, we will start with the red timeline file and import the blue one in it. To do so, open the red timeline, and then from the Timeline's menu option, select the Import from submenu and then select the STL option. You will be asked to select the file you want to import. For our example, we will select the blue timeline file. Once the application has completed importing the records and filters, you can review the result of the import, then accept or reject the imported records. If you decide to reject the import, the imported records will be removed from the importing timeline.